Everybody there, welcome back to Transfer Review. Stephen Howson, not outside Old Trafford, which is, well, let me tell you a little bit of a story, right? Okay, so you know we film multiple videos for Stretford Paddock. On a Friday, when we film this, there are multiple things for us to film. One being the brew, one being this. But Ethan, the little toad, wanted a late start, so we couldn't do this and do the brew if we had all the time to go to Old Trafford. You're like, oh, it's only down the road, isn't it? Yeah. You tried driving around Manchester on a Friday? Anyway, we're in an alley. Deal with it. Back outside Old Trafford next week, all being well. First up, Jarrad Branthwaite. And I've done a scout report on him, and not best pleased is probably the place where I'd put myself with United being linked with Jarrad Branthwaite. What, is it ability or is it the price or what is it? Yeah, it's all of those. It's a younger, blonder Maguire for Maguire level cash. Like, I'm not sure what sellable centre-half in world football you couldn't get for £70 million. Like, can you name me a centre-half in world football that is going to cost us more than £70 million right now? Because if you can't, what you're saying is Jarrad Branthwaite is the best centre-half in the world. He's not even the best centre-half at Everton. £70 million for him is absolutely atrocious. Maybe I'm not seeing it, right? Which a lot of people don't understand what that phrase means. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but maybe I'm not seeing it because I just don't see how this guy is anything more than just an ordinary Premier League footballer, which, again, that's a phrase people don't understand. They go, he's not ordinary, he's really good. Yeah, in terms to me and you, but in terms of Premier League footballers, ordinary. Ordinary. Is anyone trying to rig up Tarkowski to United? No? Why? There you go. And he's basically is another Tarkowski, but younger and blonder. Do I think United are in for him? Well, yeah, clearly. If United have agreed personal terms with him, which by all of the people who might know this sort of stuff are going, yeah. Well, I can't just sit here and say 0 out of 10, can I? There's obviously more to it than that. Now, United haven't agreed terms with Everton, thankfully, but it worries me because someone at this football club is sitting there thinking Branthwaite and some others that we've been linked to, including Southgate, or any other fucking gate that you want to link us to, are good at their jobs. And that panics me just a little bit. Personal terms agreed. Everton want like an absolute mad stack of cash for what is an absolutely mad average player. I got to give it like 7 out of 10, man. That is outrageous for... I know Joe did one last week, but this is outrageous for my first rating of the transfer window to be a 7. I'm sickened, disgusted and annoyed, and we will do better. And then this happened.
A bit of breaking news from David Ornstein, so we can take this as gospel.
Oh, so that happened.
Yeah, Manchester United make opening offer to sign Jarrad Branthwaite from Everton. United bid for centre-back £35 million, deemed unacceptable and set to be rejected in due course. Everton believe 21-year-old happy and would require a much higher fee to consider the sale. Seems like an opening salvo. We might want to re-edit the transfer review.
Next up, Matthijs de Ligt. Now, why would he work? Well, Ten Hag knows him. He's available. Supposedly, they're saying that United are closely monitoring him and he is allowed to leave FC Bayern for a suitable offer. Part of it is because they're trying to sign other centre-halves. Part of it is because he's made United's defence look like quite injury resilient this year. So, as much as I genuinely do rate him, I think United signing an injury-prone centre-half after the last season that we've just had is about as wise as volleying a fucking hornet's nest naked with jam all over your cock and balls. Not a good idea. Good player, undoubtedly. But what United don't need is good players sat in the stand while everyone else is playing football and Johnny Evans is playing his 52nd game of the season. Innit? Do I think that we're in for him? I don't think we're not in for him. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 at the moment and we'll keep an eye on that one and see how and where it develops. Olise. Anyone not injury prone on this fucking list? Is that what we're doing? Have we just got like a super double mega discount card for some sort of physio gaff and trying to fill it up? So Olise, United have made contact, Chelsea have made contact, United got a strong in. Like people thinking somewhere in the region of £60 million. I like him. I think he's a top player. His numbers are great. He's easy on the eye. He gets people off his feet. why Chelsea are in for how? By the way, how are Chelsea allowed to sign anybody for the next 15 years? How is that even a thing? How are Chelsea allowed to do any transfer business whatsoever? Why are United restricted to 30 million and Chelsea are still tiptoeing around the ice, just doing what they want? Could anyone explain that to me, please? It feels like he's closer to Chelsea than he is to United. But I do think we want him, so again, it's got to be a 2 out of 10, hasn't it? Next up, Lenny Yoro. Now, this is the centre-half I would have gone for. I think also Tadebo's an excellent shout for him as well. This is a kid with a seriously high ceiling. If you want to sign a young up-and-coming centre-half, this is the one that you want. Now, supposedly, because I don't know, I've not asked him, he's giving the eyes in a big way to Real Madrid. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't understand how anyone's not giving the eyes to Real Madrid. Going to Real Madrid in the last, 20 years is basically buying yourself a Champions League winner's medal, innit? It's an absolute joke. I would love Manchester United to just be as utterly ruthless in that competition as Real Madrid are. You can say, the first 5 titles that they won were blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. What about the last 5 that they've just won in the last fucking half an hour? Fuck. Unbelievable techers in that competition. Lenny Yoro, he is the heir to what was Raphael Varane. So I can understand him wanting to go and repeat what Varane did, winning a shit ton of Champions Leagues in the white of Real Madrid. But if United don't want to repeat the mistake that we made 12 years ago, bring in Raphael Varane now in the shape of Lenny Yoro and have a centre-half that we can rely on for the next 10, 12, 14, 15 years because he's that good. He's genuinely ready to rock and roll. And I think seeing how well the actual Varane partnered up with Lisandro Martinez, I would love to see how the pretend Varane was able to play alongside him. Now, does that mean we're going to get him? Well, Liverpool and United are supposedly actively pursuing him. You would assume that United can step in front of Liverpool on every level and bring him in. 51 million is supposedly the cost. He's a free agent next year. I think he moves this summer. Where to, I don't know. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 that United is that destination so far. I think we'd be a secondary choice to Real Madrid, but I think we'd be a much higher choice than Liverpool at the moment. Joshua Zirkzee, so a striker. Now, supposedly somewhere in the region of £33.8 million. Juventus and Milan also interested in him. Did all right last year, did very well last year. Totally different profile to the things that we've got at the club. And I think United do need to go to the market to buy a backup striker. I think there was so many times last season where Howson wasn't having a game or he came into it knackered and there was nothing on the bench to freshen it up. It was like, right, Tony Marshall, go get ready, lad. Tony? Oh, fuck. So I think just having another striker on the bench, I would even argue like a even lower profile than someone like Zirkzee would come in and do real well. I'm envisioning like Henrik Larsson. Do you know what I mean? Just something like real nice coming in like that. Zirkzee's not obviously Henrik Larsson, but I think someone that comes in that's got just a bit of a different energy to them, a bit of a different vibe to them that you can throw in, that you can give Howland a night off sometimes, and you can take him off at half time when he's having a fucking stinker. Because as it stands at the moment, if Howland can stand up, he plays. And that's not a good position to be in. He gets in the mind frame of like, I can have an absolute fucking stinker. I'm playing next week regardless. You've got to keep players on the toes just a little bit. United do probably want to touch on something a little higher profile than that, or a little older than that. Just someone that's at a different stage of his career, because you don't want both of them thinking they're a big fish. You have to have different profiles in the mixer. Either way, I don't think there's anything in this at the moment. I think you've just thrown United name into the mix, so I'm going to say fucking none out of 10. Have some of that. I've only got 2 outs this week. First one is Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Fabrizio Romano, saying Wan-Bissaka could leave United in case of a good bid this summer, which is fucking nothing. Like, what does that mean? Like, that's like saying Steve might have a sausage roll on the way home, or he might not. Or, what does it mean? What does it mean? If someone comes in with a good bid, he could go. Well, couldn't you say that about anybody? At any given time. The lad who's just signed for you could get sold if someone comes in with a good bid, technically. I mean, it'd have to be a really, really good bid, wouldn't it? But, like, happened with John Obi Mikel, lad. So, let's never say never. You know what I mean? So what a load of fucking nonsense that entire sentence was, for starters. No guaranteed exit yet, but possible as he has 1 year left on his contract, attracting interest from the Premier League and Italy. According to Tutto and Mercato Web, United are prepared to accept about 10 million for him over the next couple of months. And supposedly Galatasaray are interested in him. And Inter Milan are interested as well. So, seems like there's some interest. 10 mil, absolute snip for him. He doesn't really suit what United are there for, does he? So, I would say shake his hand, move him on. But you're still probably going to have to bring somebody in because, I don't know if you remember last season, there was no one playing anywhere. So selling defenders before you bring in defenders, not the greatest of games, but then you might need to sell to have the money to be able to bring in, to be able to buy some. So how the hell are you going to do that? We have to go and get one of those, we'll pay it back, I promise you, kind of loans that seem to be available elsewhere in the Premier League, but not at Manchester United because we do it properly. Next up. Oh, is he going? 4 out of 10. It feels like he definitely could, but it's certainly not definite that he will. Last one then, Mason Greenwood. Still a subject that divides opinion. He had a sensational season at Getafe, and the only thing that United should be thinking about with that is, cool, now we'll get some good dough for him when he goes. I just don't want to see him in a United shirt again. The club is enough of a fucking circus as it is, with all the things going around with everybody else, whether it's Anthony or Sancho or fucking Marcus fucking off to Belfast for a night on the smash. United do not need the circus, and make no mistake, if Mason Greenwood pulled on that shirt next season, you might as well get the fucking elephants out and the fucking guy with a whip and a hat and all that sort of shit, because the circus is in fucking town. Juventus have supposedly made a £40 million proposal. That alone tells you that there's baggage with Mason Greenwood, because the performance that he just put in, if he's any other player playing at any other club in any other circumstances, if Jarrad Branthwaite's 70 fucking million, Mason Greenwood's 170 million. But the baggage is real, and you're fucking lying to yourself if you think it isn't. Now, I think 40 million's a piss take still. I would want a little bit north of that, partially because United need the money, but also because we need the fucking money. Supposedly discussions have reached an advanced stage. There's also been other people linked with him, West Ham being one of them as well. Napoli have supposedly inquired about him, but I would just say get it done, draw a line under it, and everyone can fucking move on with our lives. Is it going to happen? Well, if I'm just marking it onto Juventus, I can't say more than 5 out of 10 at the moment, because that fee can't be accepted, I don't think. If I was to say Mason Greenwood to leave, I think it's more like 7 out of 10. I think that's quite likely to happen. Anyway, that's it. We are done for this week. I'm off to Germany tomorrow to go and hate watch England. Should be a right laugh. I am watching a France game as well, so I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be back outside Old Trafford or in a fucking alleyway, depending if Eastman pulls his shit out of his sock. And I'll see you then. Laters.